Harvest Island is a horror farming simulator coming out right in time for Halloween, and I have so much to say, so let's just dive right in. Hi gamers, it's your host Stormy, and today we are going to be talking about the new horror farming sim, Harvest Island. Harvest Island is set to release October 10th, 2023 on PC at a retail price point of $25 with a 10% launch discount. Because the game was made on RPG Maker, it will only be on PC. It will not be on any other platforms at this time. I have a lot of really mixed feelings about this game, and I'm gonna be super honest, so we're just gonna go over everything the best that I can. Harvest Island sets you in the shoes of Will and Samantha, a brother and sister duo, and you're meant to help your father with tasks around the farm. In this world, you must make offerings to appease the gods, and you do so by offering them all sorts of different items. You make your offerings at god statues, and there are several all throughout the island. These statues will require different items depending on where they're located. The amount also varies, like someday the statue will want 2 crabs and some days it'll want 10, so it kind of just depends. It's your job to make these offerings because your father cannot do it. He does not have the magic to do it. So this will be a part of your daily tasks, and in exchange for the offerings you will get bless. Bless is what you use in order to buy new stuff, upgrade your equipment, and craft different things. Will and Samantha definitely have a complicated relationship. Will is the older brother, and he is often really annoyed with Samantha and sometimes very mean to her. While there's obviously a lot of love between them, they do fight a lot, and you never really know what kind of mood Will is going to be in day to day. The farming aspects of the game are going to feel very familiar. You have crops to harvest, animals to feed, produce to collect, and foraging to do. So if you really love the farming simulator side of things, you're going to like this mechanic. It feels very similar to Stardew Valley, and all over Steam it even said to be Stardew Valley with a horror twist. As time progresses, the forests, caves, and seashores change. When it becomes night, the caves glow, the forest sings, and it sparkles with fireflies. The shore does recede, creating a low tide. You can use the sunset and sunrise while the landscapes change. The day and night cycle is perpetual, and you don't have to sleep if you don't want to. I feel mixed about this. I mean, it's cool that you don't need to sleep. There's no bedtime penalty or anything like that. But you also can't just go to sleep to end your day. You have to stay out the entirety of the day, which can be a drag when there's nothing else to do for the day. You kind of just have to walk around until it's nighttime. Definitely not my favorite feature. There are tons of different type of fish that you can catch all over the island. Each fish has their own habitat, and there's different fish depending on, where you are. There's different lakes, the beach, things like that. You'll also use different bait to catch the different fish. You can then cook them, eat them, and gain bless and stamina when you perform activities. The length of the game will vary depending on your playstyle. There's 2 different modes, a story mode and a normal mode. I opted in for the story mode because I wanted to be able to get through the narrative side before making the review, and the story mode was meant to focus less on farming and more on the direct story, so you can kind of choose your pace with how quickly you finish this game. The map is also pretty big. You can use different god statues to fast travel to different areas, so that does make it a little bit better, but a design choice that I take issue with is that there are hidden pathways under the trees that you have to just guess and look around for. I really did not like this because it makes it impossible to see if you were missing an area or not. It also made it really tricky to even remember where certain paths go. I had to kind of just scale the borders of the game looking for paths. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'll be showing on screen here what I'm talking about. You have to just blindly move in random directions to find these hidden pathways. For this game being made in RPG Maker, it really is so beautiful. I love the super rich color palette, and the sprite design is really nice as well. The music throughout the game is great, and it changes depending on your environment, so it's a great way to stay engaged. And while this game in theory has everything I could possibly ask for in a game, this review cannot be done without mentioning the many issues that I ran into with Harvest Island. The first noticeable issue with this game is the amount of times that it crashed on me. I did have a handful of Control-Alt-Delete style crashing moments, which really sucked, and it also made me very paranoid because the game has no autosave feature. Even when you go to sleep for the night, you still have to manually save. So I found myself kind of compulsively saving just in case it did freeze up on me again. I do hope this is something that can be patched in the future, and while it's super annoying, for me personally, that's not enough to make or break a game. I'm very understanding when it comes to games, and hey, who knows, maybe it's a me problem, right? So I continued despite the crashing. But the issues continued. Small bugs all over the game, like being unable to build a crafting station because I needed a furnace, although I already had a furnace, so I couldn't go forward, and that never corrected itself. The horror side of the game is also a bit lackluster. I personally would not buy this game if you're expecting a full-blown horror experience. It's more like a farming simulator with creepy undertones. There's a feeling of anxiety and uncertainty with the environments, the music, but if you're not progressing the main story, nothing scary will happen. It might as well just be like a normal basic farming sim, which is just not what I expected. I didn't expect to be 12 hours into the game without seeing anything scary. Outside of an overarching theme of something's really wrong here, it's just a farming sim. And when the first line of the Steam tags are horror and dark, I expected more of, I don't know, maybe a Cult of the Lamb sort of creepiness at the very least, but this is mild at best. The biggest issue of the entire game, though, is the lack of organization with the quests. If you're a person who likes to have a linear storyline, even in story mode, you are not going to get that with this game. The quests are not cut and dry. Maybe for my personal style, it just didn't work for me. If a quest is telling me to find 10 coconuts and bring them back to Dad, my mind says go collect 10 coconuts and bring them back to Dad. But in this game, I couldn't do that. I had to wander around aimlessly until I stumbled across a raccoon to do 10 other things and then go give the coconuts to Dad. It's not completely unheard of to have other things kind of pop up in the middle of your current quest line, but usually when this happens, it's very obvious. With this game, it's not obvious at all. You will often be wandering around with no dialogue, no direction, no progression steps at all, and just hope that maybe the next thing you need will trigger, or maybe you'll find a random hidden passage that will progress you. But if you don't find those things on your own without any indication of what you should be looking for, you're screwed and you will get stuck. I wish I could say that I recommend this game, I really do. I hate being negative, and in theory, it's everything I could have wanted, but the execution was buggy and maybe a little bit unorganized, so I would consider those things before paying the $25 price tag. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you're going to be picking this game up yourself. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed your time here. I appreciate the endless support so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!